Okay, we're coming up on Camp Cotubic. Be on the right side, I believe. Looking for the sign.
All that looking we did last week. You were a long way from it, weren't you?
Yep. I remember that pond right there. Or is it that pond I remember? That's it right there.
Look at that. A lot of water there. Maybe bring that come up in our house. Had a good time.
Okay, what I was just telling Joy, this barn originally was not here. It was an old wooden barn and had an old wooden house. That's where Mr. Barrett lived. And here's the pond. And the A-frame is back there.
The kids swimming there?
Oh yeah. It's all swimming area right down here.
I see.
A lot of swimming area, all the canoes where you can go canoeing.
That's fun. Well, they got a lot of water here for them.
They got diving off of that platform up there.
Slide that comes down.
I'll show you the old wash house if it's still there. This land was originally 475 acres that was owned by a brother who was a United Brethren in Christ. And he donated this 475 acres to the church for a church camp. And the way the church got its name was the pastor of Prescott United Brethren in Christ Church, Pastor Don Frederick, and he turned in the name Cotubic, and they chose that name because it sounded like an Indian name. C-O-T-U-B-I-C, Church of the United Brethren in Christ is what that stood for. Still stands for, I guess. Well, I can see now the old wash house is gone and they've got a brand new big building. It's up on this hill is where there was a wash house. Back in the 70s, Kathy and I were youth directors. We brought the youth up here to work on that shower place, and we was painting inside, and it was interesting how the kids got real squirrely. I said, what's going on here? And then I realized the shower, you know, is all brick building. It just had windows up at the top. It was what did I tell you that paint was called?
Toxic of some kind.
Epoxy paint. So they were getting inebriated with epoxy paint. So we had to get them out, run them outside, and get a big fan and put in the doorway to ventilate. These are all new buildings here that are here, but these A-frames down there were the first ones that were put in. And there's a lot of stories about this place. A lot of stories. The water. The state wouldn't allow the camp to be built until there was sufficient, so many gallons per hour of water, and the U.S. Geological Survey or somebody like that surveyed, and they come up with the different locations to drill, and I think his name was Barrett. They walked the land and prayed. There's the old original A-frames. They've been covered over with steel, obviously, but they're still here.
That's where the kids stay, huh?
Yeah. Somebody's in that one because their lights are on. See, there's a washroom, restroom right there. Yeah. Now I think these up here are newer. They're not as old as those original ones, I believe. Number 5. 6. And I think this is the most they have right here, I believe. Okay, we've turned around, we're going back out. I'm gonna point out, see the low area way out there? I believe that the sewer system from this camp is way out there in that wood line, down in the farthest area, because that low area to the right, I believe, is where they found a natural drain area where after sewage is purified and all that goes through the system, it has to have a natural runoff. There's a road going down there. I remember that road. I think it's back in there.
Walnuts here.
Yep.
Lots of them.
Anyway, back on the drilling of fresh water. There was the several wells that they drilled, they didn't come up with enough water. And I think they drilled 3 times, I believe. Maybe it's 2 times. And the amount of water wasn't sufficient for the camp to sustain fresh running water. So Mr. Barrett walked the area, walked the land, and he prayed and prayed. And I remember the story that he told, that God told him to drill at a certain point where he walked. And he told the guys, the well drillers, to drill right here, drill. And they said, that's not even on our list, that's not even on the map. And he said, I'm telling you, drill right here. And the guy put the water driller down in the ground, and they started drilling, and they found water. And they hooked up a test pipe, and they ran the test on it, and they it pumped more than enough water than what they needed. And see, that was God.
Are these for the leaders, maybe?
I have no idea the way they've got it set up now. This was not here before. And look at the what's that called? The course that you run, you know, the crucible. Is that what it's called? The crucible?
I don't know.
That's a thing where, I'll go up here and show you. So you climb those ropes and you climb up there, and you see how much endurance you've got.
Oh my. Wonder if anybody ever got hurt.
Oh no. In the name of Jesus, they protect them. Thank you, Father.
Yes, I guess.
If they got hurt, they didn't have
I
enough
can't
faith.
even get up steps.
I don't know about that.
What's that thing? I do get up few, but I'd be.
Okay, we're going to go on around.
You got a dinner bell out here. Look at it.
Yep.
Okay.
That's the original church bell off one of the churches, I believe. See that right there?
Mm-hmm.
That bell was off of one of the original old churches, I do believe. It was donated to the camp.
Ring the dinner bell.
I remember when I was up here before, one of the plumbers from Dayton, I forget his name, but we went to church with him. He donated, or he come up and did a lot of the plumbing, and he left one of his trucks up here. Had his name on it for several years. Okay, we're going to go around and pick up another area. I want to show some more information.
Down there.
A little miniature golf course right there. Miniature golf course. Horseshoes. I think we'll go around this way.
Office and gym.
See what we got back here. Does it say office and gym?
Right back.
Got a shelter and children's play area up there. Discovery Lodge. See the sign there? Discovery Lodge.
I bet parents can come and stay in this. Their kids are
Got a big log cabin up there.
That's something.
Yeah.
That's something in it.
Okay.
Motel rooms.
They got little camper spots up here.
Oh.
I remember this. People can park on the hill here.
Huh.
Come up in their campers and park. See down through there, there's several of them there.
My golly. Very
Actually,
nice.
the road goes on around. Let's just go on around and I'll show you. Windy, trash can rolled over.
Yeah. That's something.
All these different camper spots you got here.
Pretty nice.
Now, if I remember correctly, if I go up on this ridge here, there is a big rock, big stone. If I remember correctly, it's on this. Okay, I'm going to walk down here to where I think that big rock and stone pulpit is at. You hear the wind? It is supposed to be 50-mile-an-hour winds today. So it's quite windy right now. So I won't keep the tape going. It's not tape, it's digital. I think we're getting close. I think it's down in here, I believe. Water is a little bit high right here. The runoff area. I believe this is it. I believe this is it. I think this is it. Now, I don't remember these trees being right here. But if I'm not correct, I think this is the rock where Sean, when he was about 8 years old, I think he stood up on this rock here. It's like a natural pulpit. He stood up on this rock right here, and you preached to the people out through here when they had the kids gather. A natural pulpit. I think this is so neat. It's like God put that there. Isn't that cool? And over here is where they would have a bonfire. You can see where they'd have people sit around. They sit on the rocks. Have Vesper services at night. Sit on there. Sit around the rocks. Have the fire going.
It's an old tree.
Check out that tree. Looks like he's looking at you.
Yeah, it does.
That tree's been, I remember that tree from before.
Almost like the old rugged
Of course, the
cross.
branches are
Yeah.
rotted off more, but
Something in it. Valley High here.
okay, now we're coming back down from up in the, see, you got to realize Bell Fountain, Ohio is the highest point in the state of
I
Ohio.
know.
And this is only, matter of fact, Mad River starts, I think, 1/10 of a mile off of that highest point that we just came off of. If I remember correctly, that's about the way it was. Well, we can't swim today. I don't see a lifeguard.
Swim only when the lifeguard is on duty, it says.
I want to show you something. Look here.
It's all sand.
See the water slide there? That
Yeah.
big white thing?
I saw that.
Behind that building is a big trough of water that's pumped in. They can go right on down. It pumps the water up, and then they come sliding down and go right into the
That's fun.
pond. Yeah.
Mhm.
They call it a lake.
Yeah.
Pond, lake, whatever you're going to call it.
Pretty neat, isn't it?
Now that house was not here originally. That's a newer house, obviously.
It might be a caretaker's house.
Could be. This is Camp Cotubic, Church of the United Brethren in Christ.
Neat.
A lot of memories. Donnie and Sean were here when they were 7, 8 years old. We come up to visit one time.
Did they stay all night here or stay? I didn't see that. I was
See,
looking the other way.
it says Camp Cotubic right now.
Yeah.
The Vineyard Youth are up here.
Oh.
It says Welcome Vineyard Youth.
Oh, that's neat.
So see, other church groups use this facility.
Mhm.